introduce yourself about your current role and responsibility and tech stack which you are working?
Sure. So I've been working as a full stack developer from past 5 years in the same company. I've worked on a stacks like Node.js, Flutter, React, in the web development and also on developing mobile applications. And from developing scratch to releases, I've worked. Just so I'll explain this using my current project. So the current project which I'm working is for the TVS. This TVS application is a PWA, Progressive Web Application, but it's a mobile application that supports using we're built using the Flutter with Node.js and MongoDB. I here worked in two roles. One as a senior engineer involved in developing this application, and also I have been involved in leading the team in designing and in all the getting the design inputs from meetings with clients and inputs till releases I have involved in. So yeah, this is the current project that I'm working on.
Okay.
This was a training application.
But I'm not able to hear you. Sorry. I'm not able to hear you. I think your earphone is having some issue.
You hear me now?
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. It's great. Okay, yeah. So
When you heard about
no, I told after some time it was stuck like was not able to hear.
Okay. So I was telling about the current project which is working. I was working for the TVS application, TVS clients to build a PWA using the Flutter and Node.js with the MongoDB.
Okay.
So I worked here as a senior engineer and also I was leading the team. This project I built, I was involved in complete from building from the scratch and till releases and also sprint planning, developing, designing everything.
Okay, so means you can alone means can taking care of development and deployment all the things.
Correct.
Okay. So you in a front end like you told you worked on as a Flutter. So is the Flutter like an Android application, right?
No, Flutter supports with the same code we can support like for both Android and iOS deployment.
Yeah, it's like a
But
hybrid
this was
application.
web
I understood.
application, yeah.
Yeah, so hybrid application is like that. So back for front end you are work that side and back end you have used Node.js.
Node.js, yeah.
So Node.js is like
So
you have developed the API.
Sorry?
So Node.js you have used for developing the API.
Correct.
Okay, so how much means you are working mostly in Node.js or Flutter? How much percentage is there?
Yeah, like Node.js, about only this project or about the overall 5 years you're asking?
Yeah, overall 5 year. Which one you are comfortable in, Node.js or Flutter?
See, like I've worked as a full stack developer in almost more than 6 to 7 projects, and Node.js is what I'm more strong in. But I worked in React in 2 projects and Flutter in more than 3 to 4 projects. So Node.js was common in backend technology that used in all these projects.
Yeah, but which one is you are comfort means you are can able to which best practice you are using. That's I'm just trying to understanding.
Node.js.
Node.js your comfort. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start from some of the basics from JavaScript. Okay, after that we can discuss in between all the things. So do you know what is the data type in JavaScript?
Yeah.
Can you introduce some what data type you have used in your projects?
Sure. Data types are something which defines the what type we are defining of the values that we define in a variables. Example, numbers, strings, and arrays, objects.
Yeah.
These are all few data types.
Okay. So have you got any chance to work on symbol or big int?
Symbol I work, but I've not used much across the projects.
Okay,
So
fine. So do you know what is call by reference and call by value?
call by refresh.
Reference and call by value.
Call by reference and call by call by reference is it will just the same object or I mean array or an object or a variable that we create, it will just be pointing to the same reference, but the value will be like we will create a new reference, a new object.
Okay. So can we pass the reference in JavaScript?
Yeah, we can pass
How can we?
by copying it,
Yeah,
by copying the values.
copying the value. Okay, great. So do you know that shallow copy and deep copy?
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Great. Okay. Do you know that polyfills?
Sorry.
Polyfills.
No. What
Okay.
fields?
I'm typing in a test. Okay, you can see
Okay,
in a test.
sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
Not.
Polyfills is there.
No.
Okay, so let's consider you are working in a project and that is not comfortable, like is not supporting by the other browser. You are working in a JavaScript code or something, so it is not supported by the other browser. How will you rectify and how will you resolve that issue?
You're meaning like whatever we have written that is in JavaScript
Yeah,
that in
do you know?
that will be
Let,
in other.
let me help you little bit. So, do you know that fetch and promise is not part of JavaScript? Is it part of JavaScript or is it part of browser? What do you think?
Uh, it's one of the features that was released in ES6, right? I mean,
Have you used fetch?
JavaScript.
Have you used fetch function?
Yeah.
Fetch promises
Yeah, I've used.
is a part of JavaScript.
Yeah, that's what I.
Is not a part of JavaScript. Is a part of browser. So that's why sometimes that you are writing some code in a promise or something that is not supported by the all the browser. Like Chrome is supported all the things. What Edge and a Brave you are anyone using that are not supporting. Then how will you
So
fix
the
that?
main engine that we have in Node that supports. That's what you're telling.
Yeah, that's I'm telling me. How will you build an application that is comfortable with all the browser? Okay, so have you
Understood.
written any CSS also?
Yeah, CSS like very like few projects. Like 3 years back when I was working in the React, we used to use a material UI, but then there was some requirement where we used to use plain CSS
Okay.
for styling.
Okay. So I'm giving some code to you. Okay. Can you guess the output? I'm giving some URL also for JS compiler. You can also use your compiler also, which is your comfort. Share your screen and guess the output.
Okay. In the compiler that you have sent, I have to do that, right?
Just share your screen.
Yeah. Let me do that.
Don't run that app, code in your compiler. Just guessing first. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I have to use this online compiler that you have sent, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me open this. Okay, I'll copy this. Should I copy?
Yeah, copy it and paste it there.
Okay.
Don't run it, just guess the output.
Yeah. Sure. 1 second, I'm just. Okay. I have to write the output, right?
Yes.
Your function is accepting the parameter, so null will be received or what? Like by default,
it will be
take
the
a
same.
0.
It will be the same. Just you have to guess the output. What you having a knowledge as per
Okay, we are initializing. Understood. Okay.
Yeah.
First for this. 1 second. I'm just doing the first part of it. Will be 1000. 1 second. Okay. one. Yeah, this will be
Out. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. What the difference between var, let, and const?
Okay. Var is a global variable. And let and const is a block scope, but let can be even accesses from the like a block like function within the function, but const is immutable, we cannot change. But var and let we can they are mutable variables, we can change it. And var is a variables which is hosted like hoisting, and let is also involved in hoisting while JavaScript is compiled.
Okay. Okay. So I am sharing a one more code. Just guess the output of that. Okay. You know the hosting, right? Okay. Let me
Okay.
share with you.
Yeah.
Just copy this code and guess again.
Shall I remove this or
Yeah, you
comment
want?
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
anyone you want.
Okay.
Okay, what will be the output of that? You just write in a inline code. Like say hello is a function, it will call. What will be the output? Write the in front of that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there is at line number
This
22 also something missing.
like this is okay.
Right, right, yeah.
Okay. Here also there is one. Okay. 1 second. Sorry, I just missed it. Okay. This function is defined after here. Okay. This will be hosted. Oh, since it's a var, okay, this will be more centralized. Is this fine? Okay. There
Yeah,
still more. Sorry, I
still.
didn't see. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, great. Why it is giving the error at in below? Go down.
This one.
In a constant case, in case of constant.
Constants before defining, I mean, yeah, like it won't be hosted. It's not like hosting. Without defining, we will get an error if we try to access it.
Okay, okay, great, great. it's a type of error. What is the type of error will come at line number 35? What it will say? It's a undefined.
Not declared. Variable is either not declared and it's undefined.
Okay, okay, great. Come to the screen and I pasting one more code. Just guess the output of this one.
Okay. I think there is array this one, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let me comment this. This will be array, right?
That you have to
The
check.
type of yeah, it's array.
Yes. Okay, fine. So let's jump to the you are comfort in Node.js, okay? Correct.
Yeah.
So, okay. So in a Node.js, have you developed any application from scratch?
Yeah.
Okay. So what the best practices have you used, and how what like about what is the project is that?
Okay. I'm just increasing the volume because I was not able to hear.
Okay, no,
I'll take up the current project only, which I was working on the TVS, so the backend. So we were using the microservice architecture because we were not only having the data that was coming from our MongoDB, we were also fetching the data from other services like data science. There was a data science team, separate team from the TVS. So we were sending the API calls from which we were getting data, and however we want for the UI, we were changing those things in our Node.js, and then we were we can consider as a BFF layer backend for front end. We were using that concept, and then we were sending to the front end. Here, the best practices was one of the first thing is how we manage each layer, right, from routing level to fetching the data, like routing, handling, service, schema. All this should be well maintained with the separate modules. That is one, and we were using the test coverages using just for we were maintaining 80% coverage. And then we were using linting and prettier for the formatting, and
okay, okay, great,
and
great.
also we were using to have the less number of code. We were trying as much possible. Mass script will provide a lot of features like spread operators, promises, and all of this we were using to reduce the lines of code. And also we were using SonarQube to have the good quality of the code.
Okay, understood, understood, understood. So have you implement any dry principle or solid principle in your code?
Yeah, solid principle is the one that I explained the all this, right. I mean,
What is
things.
solid? What is the means of solid?
Maintaining things individually, or according to the respective function that it does.
Okay, okay, great. Alright, so, so okay, so in a Node.js, you are okay. You are doing that all the things I understood. So you are mostly developing the API only, or you are doing something related to GUI. You are doing or something like HTML
Sorry?
embed, Node.js template embedding something you are doing in Node.js.
No, only API.
Only API. Great, great. So okay, let's talk about the. So do you know pre-flight request?
Pre-flight request?
Yes.
Oh no.
Okay. Course error. CORS.
Course error, yeah. Yes, it's course error.
Why it
So
comes?
this
Yeah.
came across like if the domain that we are fetching from different domains to domain, like example, we have example www.example1.com, and we are calling some other domain, we will have a course issue.
Okay.
Like we can throw that course issue.
Okay. If I'm running the same domain but different port number, it will giving like it's the same domain. Okay, but different port number. Will it cause the issue or not? Because it's the same domain.
It depends upon how we handle this in the headers, right? All this cost issue that we as developers can handle those.
How can
If
we
you want
handle?
to enable or if you want to provide security.
The course error will come based on the port number or domain.
Domain is what that I've come across on multiple projects.
Okay, okay. Is any way, any method we can prevent like to like I don't want to use pre-flight request. That okay, you don't know pre-flight is okay. It's okay. How many types of different type of HTTP method is there?
Uh,
Just in a general way, just told me like one access,
yeah,
two
put,
access.
post, get, put, patch, delete.
Okay, okay. That and status code.
401, 402,
Yeah.
403, 200.
No,
Uh,
it's like a general.
it's
I'm asking the general way only. One access, two access. Because of if we are going in a detail like a 300, then 301 I will ask. So just give it. Okay.
200 for the success status, 401 for the unauthorized,
And five.
403 for the forbidden, 500
Sorry.
for internal server error, uh,
I
402
am
for
not
batch
talking
request. Sorry.
about the specific port number. I'm just asking like 5 access is coming from where? If I'm getting some error from the like it's showing 5 access, it is due to server side or it is due to client side or any other network issue.
Server issues,
Server.
5x.
And what is other 1 access and 2 access, 3 access?
Uh, 2x is also from the server, I mean, response, uh, successful response.
Okay, okay, great, great. And 4 is that?
4 is it can happen in the front end also, but unauthorized, or if we're not enabling them, authentication issues,
Okay,
both the end.
okay, great, great. So how will you prevent your API like security mechanism? What step you are following?
So one of the major thing that I followed is including JWT,
Hmm.
JSON Web Token authentication. Do I have to explain like how? I mean,
It's okay. It's okay. For about the like if any someone is trying to doing a DDoS attack in our API, how will you prevent?
using security headers like clickjacking to like I think there's something
You
called,
know
if you have
DDoS
heard,
attack? Do you know DDoS
Mhm.
attack?
Sorry,
DDoS attack, do you know?
DDoS I don't know, but I know some other
Okay, okay.
that's
Let me
like
help. Let me help.
clickjacking.
DDoS attack is like a user. Some users like unethically they are trying to giving a more
Mhm.
request. Okay, like in a 1 second they are giving a thousands of requests. How will you prevent that thing?
Okay, I think blocking it based on the request that is coming while using something like analytical tools,
Hmm.
we'll get to know what kind of and where the website incoming requests are coming from based on that
Okay, have you
analytical.
implemented that tool, analytic tool? Which tool you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
used?
I've worked on Google Analytics.
That Google Analytic will help us.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Do you know rate limiter?
rate limiter I've heard, but can you
Okay.
help me in understanding? So if I have
Yeah,
worked
that is the
around, I can.
solution that can help this one.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, great. May I know the difference between get and post?
Sure. Get is the HTTP request to used to find all the data is present when we are created using the post request.
Hmm.
And even if there is no data, it will return empty array. And the post request is used to create data document in the database.
Okay. I'm giving a one. Okay, one scenario. Let's you are working in my team. Okay, and I am your senior. Now there is a one project that is in a deadline, and I am just telling you, don't following any standard. I just want just working any of the method and you are comfortable in a post request. Okay, post method you are
Okay.
very comfort. So you are always implementing post. I am not telling you. I am not taking any best practices. Just deploy this project because it's a deadline. Now is
Okay.
what will be the issue? You are always telling using the post. Okay, you are not using the get. Where the it will fail.
Sorry, you're telling I'm only
Like
working on the post.
you are always be using the post because you are no very like you know the better way like how to use the post. Okay,
Post.
so
And I'm not using any get request at all.
because of you know you having an experience in a
Yeah.
post, that's why you are using. Okay,
Okay,
So
understood.
where it will be cause the issue, because I am not following any standard. I am not telling you. I just want a requirement. Okay, I have a deadline. I have to submit the project. Okay, you are always using post. I am not also stopping you. Okay, but it will be fail somewhere, because that get is required somewhere where it will be required.
So you're telling I'll write even the get you using post, right?
Yes.
Yeah, understood. So definitely there is one major issue that comes if you use the post for the get. Uh, while sending the body,
Yes.
and one issue is that, and also
Because data we can get from the post also. We can pass the
yes,
data to
yes,
post also, right?
yes, correct. You're right. Response, in the response we can just send it a body, just fetching it internally, writing a lot of code and
Hmm.
using the same. One is that body issue, like it should not. It will actually throw like it's a wrong way of using.
No, it will be when we have a, as a developer, what we have used, like we all, it's this error will show to the who are using the, but we are developing our API. Okay, we are always using the post, and we are provide a documentation that that API you are using, always we use the post. So you have to pass the post as a method. Then other user can, third party application, that other user can also use the post, right? So
Correct.
then where is the issue, when it can only and only possible by the get, is not available in a post.
So yeah, like example, like in the front end, if you are using like HTTP to get only, but whatever I have written that get using post. So the issue that I'm just thinking.
You worked on REST API, right?
Yeah,
You are follow REST API or SOAP, and any GraphQL have you worked on?
GraphQL for a year. I worked on one project called IBO where that was using Nest.js and TypeScript
Okay,
also.
okay, great, great. So what is the mean of REST?
Uh,
Like if we are telling you we are
sorry.
we are implementing REST API, and why we are implementing, because of there is a certain method, like we have to use always we get, we always use the post. Why they have implemented that method, why the who developed that REST architecture, why they have developed. Okay, there is some certain logic, that's why I'm asking that question. If I'm not using the get, then there is a some way where it will be fail. Okay, so no worry. Okay, do you know what is HTTP, is stateless or stateful?
HTTP.
Yes.
It is stateless, right?
Why?
Because we are not maintaining those in our server
What we are
like we
not
do it in.
what we are not maintaining?
I mean, like we maintain in the front you for the UI how we maintain stateless and stateful, right? That across the HTTP we are not maintaining in the backend.
Okay, okay. What is session?
A session is a small period of time where when we want some data only for a certain period.
Hmm. Okay, okay, great. What is the difference between query and param?
Yeah, params. These are both like path params and query params, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, path params says it's access to within the URL, like example www dot something called slash. If there is any user ID that those ID can be accessed using the path params, and after the whatever comes from after the question mark,
Yeah.
that will be the access to the query params.
Great, great. Okay. So okay. So where you are deploying this all the application, like Node.js application, using any automation you are doing?
We were using Azure App Service to deploy it.
So
Starting to
deploy
mine.
Azure for how, is there any pipeline?
Yeah, pipeline was also there, but I also had an access to manually deploy it through VS Code. I was
So
using
what
extension
you are
and
doing in a best practice? So you are always doing, like in a production you are releasing something. So you are like you have to deploy in a test, then they then no, something we have to.
yeah, yeah.
So always you are doing
We
the
have
manual.
three environments.
Sorry. Yes,
we
yes.
had three environments. One is dev, QA, and prod. We always used to locally test and move to dev. We had a pipeline for all the three to deploy automatically. But if there was no DevOps team that they were available, I had an access to only deploy. I mean, yeah, for all the three environments I had, but I was deploying manually to dev and test and then move things.
Okay. So are you aware about how this application will deploy?
Through pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they in the GitHub, before previous projects, I was using Jenkins
Yeah.
CI/CD, and
Okay.
here I think they were using GitHub only.
So GitHub is like we are storing the code. Okay. After that, some
Yeah,
pipeline it will building us some pipeline and it will deploying the code in our any machine. So as you're having some machine and computing
yeah,
machine like
Azure,
that.
Azure.
Okay. Okay. Great. So okay. So let's consider in my machine having a 8 core of CPU. Okay. By default Node.js always be using one core. How will we optimize that it should use all the that all CPU, so it will increase the performance.
This I came across one situation in our current TVS project where the current users were 100 and we were supposed to test and automatically if 500 and 100 users were onboarded, it's supposed to increase. And I think they increased the processor memory, which they will give, I think, something like in the Azure. I was not doing, but I had this discussion with them when connecting. They had an access to make it automatically increase the score
No,
values
that
based on
is the, I think different
request.
thing. That is a different thing. I think in a that in a production environment we are doing some scaling load balancer we can implement. But
Correct.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about in my local environment. Okay, having a 8 core of CPU, but it is not utilizing the CPU. Okay, so how will
Okay.
you do you know clustering?
Clustering, yeah, in the MongoDB, yeah, I have
Oh my,
worked, but
and
locally,
cluster, the cluster in Node.js.
nodes,
Yeah. What?
single nodes are nothing but clusters, right? Like here, like example in MongoDB, if more than the required, like M0, M1, M2, these are the
Okay,
nodes, the
okay.
classes that is provided. We increase it
What is
based on the
what is module?
module. You can consider as example in Node.js or JavaScript, the whole file related to one function, the whole file we can consider as a module, and we can export it as a file
Okay,
as
okay.
one module.
What is the module like by default is the core module of Node.js?
Default core
Core module in
object.
Node.js. Any
Is
module
it
have
the
you used?
object?
Have you used any core module in Node.js?
Can you give me an example so I can just?
Like HTTP, FS, file module, this.
Yeah, file. Okay, this module. Okay, okay, I'm sorry. I just. Yeah. For like FS module to read and write the files, HTTP modules for the REST APIs.
Okay, great, great. Okay. How do you debug your that Node.js application in a production?
One is if you want to debug each line of the code is like adding a debugger. Another debugger points.
Sorry for interrupt you, but debugger can be put in a local environment, right? Because you have a code
Yeah,
access. But how will you debug in your production environment?
production, right?
Yeah.
One is using logging the errors using the middlewares.
Okay. Okay.
And whenever it is deployed in the server, we can see all the logs whenever the request is hit.
Okay. What is
One
middleware?
is sorry.
What is middleware?
Yeah, middleware is a function where which we use to handle between the request and response. If you want to do anything before request is hitting, and the response before we send any response in between, you have to do any validation or anything or logging the error. We call it as middleware.
Can you write us some syntax for that? Create a one route and implement some middleware. Just an example only.
Here only.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. This is pseudocode you want, or you want
Yeah,
all the
pseudocode
imports?
only. Pseudocode.
Okay. Okay. Let us consider there is the app dot get request with slash route, and here we'll consider this middleware. I'll write it, and we will have a response with the callback function and whatever the logic. Let's consider some console that is sending back. I mean, sorry, the result
Okay.
response dot send with some message.
Okay. This is like we
And
have.
then this middleware,
Yes. Yes.
I'll
Continue.
use it to validate as a middleware.
Okay. Okay.
This token validate, I'll define a function here in const function, which will take request response with the next function. And then, like, if I'll check the request status,
Okay.
I want all of it.
Understood. What is the use of next?
Next is telling that, okay, this part of the function is done. Please move to the next. So, like example, after this, it'll come here.
Okay. Let's consider you are passing this middleware in your that particular route. Okay. What I want to check all route that middleware. I want to in all the route. How will you implement?
I think we can do it with app.use and send this.
Great. Okay. Have you used any ORM?
ORM, no.
Okay. So you are writing pure SQL. Okay. You are using MongoDB. You are experienced in MongoDB.
MongoDB, yeah.
Okay. So any idea about MySQL?
Yeah, MySQL, I think 3 years back, there was a small project. This is a small quiz that we were writing.
Okay, so why you have choose that MongoDB only? MongoDB is a NoSQL, right? Why have you choose?
One is because of its dynamic schema it provides.
Okay. I'm giving up an example to you. Okay, so let's consider in your project. Okay, you have a senior person where you have to develop a project from the scratch. Okay, so which technology you have to which technology you have to use, that you have to decide it. So similarly you have to decide the database also use. So how will you decide the which database you should use?
So I'll be very honest, because I've not worked on SQL for the past 4 years. I'm working on the MongoDB to whatever its schema or the designing types and fetching and all the indexes it provides. So I choose MongoDB.
Okay.
Because anytime if you want to change the object structure, it's easy in this MongoDB.
Right. Any limitation is there in MongoDB?
The limitations come. Since I've not used other, I mean, T-base, I don't have.
Yeah, because we have to know where it will be failed. MongoDB will be failed somewhere. We have to if as a senior person you are going to as a senior person, then you have to taking care of this all the things what you are implementing. Okay, then pros and cons you have to know, because you are a senior person and in your team all are a junior. They can do any type of mistake but you can't, and all they are doing any mistake you have to taking care of all the things. Okay.
Correct.
Then you have to taking care. Next time if you are doing any responsibility like that, then you have to taking care. Okay, which technology I am using and what is the limitation is there, and how I will be prevent that. If I am using always be MongoDB only, okay, but there is a limitation. How I will, if I want to stay only MongoDB, how I can prevent? Okay, then you have to taking care of this all the things. What is indexes in MongoDB?
So indexes is very useful. There is a lot of documents, and when you want to search a particular document, based on this indexes, each document will be divided and will be stored, and the fetching is easier and faster.
Any limitation?
Yeah, because the more the indexes, the more the documents, the more indexes. It's even like complicated.
So will it affect any our create, update or delete operation?
Everywhere we have to be in track with this in all the APIs.
No, I didn't get you. Well, like I am telling, if I implemented the indexes in my MongoDB, okay, So it is for get request is a good, is able to fetch the fetch the result in immediate manners. Okay, like let's consider I'm doing the any create operation, update or any delete operation. Will it affect that one also, or it will be same?
Update, I think there is a drawback when we update the document.
What the drawback?
Like,
It is affect anything like
the
DB?
index might be
Sorry,
changed, and again they have to create another index for it.
sorry, I didn't get you. Sorry.
When it is updated, a new index will be created, and
Okay, okay, understood.
again,
Okay, how many types of indexing in MongoDB?
mm, probably I'll skip this because it's very less
Hmm.
thing, and I have to, yeah, no,
Have you
definitely
used
learn about it.
trigger in MongoDB?
Trigger,
Yeah.
trigger.
Yes, yes.
No, I've not come across trigger yet, like
So, like as a
process.
senior position, so have you managed any only code level things or DB things also you are managing?
DB, yeah, I'll tell. Like the what as I said, most of the things that I worked on was microservice. Very limited data. Like storing and fetching. I've worked, and like 3 to 4 years back, yeah, I worked on like aggregating and all of those based on the date, time, everything from our MongoDB. But the recent project which I worked was everything was on the microservice architecture where we were getting data from other services, and we were handling it in Node.js and
Okay. Do you Node.js single thread or multi?
it's a single thread.
And how can we do multi-thread? I wanna convert that
Uh,
into multi-thread. If possible?
Using event loop.
What is event loop?
Event loop is one of the architectures that we use for the Node.js to handle promises, like any
Like
functions,
how? Okay.
asynchronous functions.
How event loop will convert into multi-thread? Because event loop is using a single thread, right? In a single thread, it will checking the something mechanism internally is doing. So how it will converting it to multi-thread?
So single thread, what we'll do whenever there is a number of events, it will first trigger one event and then it will go to next and initial as the event. But as soon as the first event is completed, it will raise an event to the single thread and it will come back and it will be moved to the stack. And then again, the next events will be whatever in the
Yeah, that thing I
stack.
understood.
It will be.
That thing I understood. What? How? Where is the multi-thread is come in this picture? Because it is like a non-blocking element, right? It is just
Yeah,
put into the queue only. Okay, in a stack and queue mechanism is there, but it is still there is a single thread only, right? Where is the multi-thread?
correct.
Okay, no issue. Do you know like you told like event loop is just putting into the stack. So there is a two operation, okay, in set timeout and set time interval and set timeout and promises, and
Okay.
all three are resolved at same time. Which one is the higher priority? Which one will print or giving the output first?
Set amount.
Like there are multiple function na? Set timeout, set time interval, that they are all are provided as a promises, and like promises also there. So
Yeah,
they all are put in, like they all are like a blocking elements. That's why event loop is putting into the stack. They have
correct.
resolved at same time.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is a higher priority? Which one is first
Synchronous
come into the,
functions, the
sorry?
set timeout and interval will be printed first, then promise function because that is an asynchronous one.
Okay, okay, great, great. So let's talk about little bit React.js. You know React.js?
Yeah, React.js. React.js worked on class components, but now I'm updating myself to hooks to
Okay,
learn.
okay. Which version you have
Function.
worked in React.js?
It was like around about like 16 also we have used. When hooks was there, which was supporting class components also, that time I was using. Then I was
Okay,
working on
yeah.
Flutter.
React 18 version is supported the hooks. Okay,
Yeah,
so which type of hooks you have implemented in your code?
hooks, right? Use state and use effect.
What is prop drill?
Prop drilling, like if there is a number of child component from the parent component, if you want a value to be passed to across the child, grandchild, child, like sending through a props to each component. This process is called prop drilling.
How can we prevent that thing?
Using state management.
Which one you have used?
Redux have used.
Okay.
Store.
Why you have not used context API?
Context API.
You know context API?
Yeah, context API also we can use.
Because these are pre-built features provided by the React. Why we are going to the third-party application? Okay, ignore it. One more question. So, have you developed any packages or something?
Creating a package.
Yeah, have you developed any Node.js package, like Node.js having some module and we are importing some third-party library, right?
Yeah.
Have you developed anything from scratch?
We have installed third-party.
Well, we are installing. Have you developed?
But I have not developed yet.
Okay. So let's consider you are using in a Node.js application. You are using a one package that is hosted in a npm package, okay, directory that developed by the me, okay, and that after some time, like your application is ready to go to the production environment. Suddenly, that developer has deleted that package from the npm. Okay. Now it will affect your application, right?
He has changed something. That is what you're telling when we move to production.
Sorry?
You're telling once we move to production and the developer has changed the...
Yeah, because you have to, like in a Node application, you for deploying, you have to run the npm install for installing all the dependencies, right? In which there are one of the dependency that is deleted from the source. Okay. How will you fix that issue?
Okay. How will
you fix that issue? You are
breaking because of the changes that the third party has done, right?
Yes.
Package.
Because you are dependency on third party, right?
Again, we have to change. In this downloading the node modules where in server we are downloading it, right? We have to go and change the versions and
rebuild it. They have completely deleted from there.
Oh, deleted.
Yeah,
okay.
From npm registry they have deleted. How will you fix that thing?
I think we will have a downloaded version right in our server. Using that, creating a separate creating our own separate package of us and installing it.
How will you create?
That is one, or
how will you create the package?
One is as a repository only you can create and convert it.
Okay.
And release it in the npm their platform, Node platform.
Great.
npm package manager.
Great, because as a senior person, if you are working on any big application, then if your dependency more dependent on the third party and you are not paying anything them, they can do anything.
Correct.
And it will affect your business. Understood?
Correct.
Yeah. Then you have to taking care of all the things before developing any application from the scratch. Try to back up all the data in your local, or try to like anything you are develop your own packages. That can be prevent this type of issues. Okay. Yeah. What is error boundary in React.js? Error boundary.
Wandering.
Let me type it up.
Yeah, I think error wandering, if I'm not wrong. WAN
is boundary.
Error boundary.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I tested.
Sorry?
I tested the message if you check.
Okay. Okay, error boundary.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have not come across this. Okay. Probably I should dig and know.
You told in a Node.js you have implementing some unit test cases.
Yeah.
So what challenge you are facing?
In unit test cases, one is in mocking the requests and responses, and one is covering if the requirement of 100% coverage is very difficult. Like it takes more than the development effort.
Okay.
Testing should not be more than the development effort always. And
Okay. Okay. It's okay. So you bugged on that TypeScript also, right?
yeah,
Okay. Great. So TypeScript, do you know interface?
yeah.
Why we are using?
Interface are easy way of creating the like blueprint of the object data types.
Okay. Great. Great. What's the difference between any and unknown?
Any is like we are telling that okay, except the type. This is one of the type that we can declare in the when we are using TypeScript. Example, uh, for the response that is coming from the somewhere in server, we don't know what the response type will be, but that doesn't affect our any of the requests that we are response that we are sending back. We can just define any. Unknown is like that is also similar one, but using any we can extract the object types.
Okay.
But unknown is like it's completely not known type.
Understood. So, what is code splitting and code refactor?
Uh, Refactoring is like refactoring involves a lot of things. It might be like if there is a lot of unused codes and uncommented codes, removing all of it, and if we can like which is written in 4 lines, so if we can reduce it to 1 line, or if there is, for example, if there is that's what if there is any 4 lines of code which can write in 1 line, one is that, and those are the things that comes in refactoring. How we can try to reduce it. That comes into SonarCube code quality also. It's like simply if you're returning any response and storing in a variable and returning it. It's all unnecessary things.
Okay.
So this is comes in refactoring. And code splitting. Is it something like when we are developing, we will have two screen code splitting?
Yes.
Okay. Code splitting is okay. I understood. This I got it. Like if there is a huge code of file or a
Yes.
file, it's very difficult for a developer to go through it. If we split it functional wise, like small pieces, it's very easy, right?
Correct.
And calling is also, and readability is also, it's very easy.
Understood. Yeah. So, have you done any PR review?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because as a senior person, you have to taking care of this all the things,
Yeah.
and that's why you have to more knowledgeable of that basics or all the things. Okay. Because
Correct.
if you are in your team, if you are some junior having some mistake na, then this is your call. You have to taking care all the thing. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So I am good from my side. Do you have any query? You can ask.
Okay.
Sundar,
You're
do you
asking
have
me.
any question? Sundar Ganesh.
No, Mayank. I think everything is covered, right?
Yes.
So you're good. Yeah.
Jepita, you want anything, or we can?
Yeah, man. It was a very good interview. I learned a lot. Like, if you have 5 minutes time, can I know about the roles and the project about this interview process?
Currently, it is not decided. I think recruiter can be okay. So, in which team you will deploy, because of we have a multiple team and multiple projects. Is something in internal project we also have. And Sundar, you can help. Then you can.
Yeah, sure. Yes, ma'am. So, Jevita, so this is a project for Mr. Cooper, what we are looking currently for full stack development position.
Okay.
We need a people good hands-on experience on the areas what Mayank is told and evaluated on you. So, based on this, the customer interview will be there, L1 and L2 round of interviews. It will be a Teams interview only. So maybe you can prepare well for the interview as per Mayank's call. Okay. So this project is it's a mortgage domain project for Mr. Cooper in Chennai and Bangalore location. Both locations we have been looking. So
Okay.
moreover, this is a deployment opportunity. So you'll be full-time employee for Techstar Group, and we are deploying to Mr. Cooper.
Understood.
Okay. Fine.
So thank you so much. Might you have any input for me so that it helps me?
Yeah,
further?
just prepare the basics only. Otherwise, you are good. Just little bit basic,
Okay.
because you are going to senior and you have to taking care all the things. When
I
you are
understand.
implementing anything, now just learn what is pros and cons, because of you are I know there are lots of AIs there, Chat GPT or any other
Yeah.
AI. You can earlier also without Chat GPT, you are like a Stack Overflow is there.
Yeah,
So you are just
I started my work when there was no ChatGPT, so I always go even now for the Stack Overflow.
yeah, that Stack Overflow, just you are doing the copy and pasting that code. You are what your problem getting
Yeah,
a solution. But is it
correct.
affecting your code? Why you are using that thing? That question you have to raise. Because code anyone can do. You are an engineer, not a like a that employee or something you are just doing.
Yes,
Okay, you are just doing that things. Yeah, was
sure,
really
definitely,
fine.
Mike. That was a great input for me. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Bye.
much.
Thank
It
you
was.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.